Hi, welcome back to the workshop for episode 4 of the Firebird ukulele build. And in this episode we're going to continue with the fretboard by getting it shaped up, radiused and glued onto the neck. In the last episode we got this fretboard cut out and slotted, and in this episode I aim to get it trimmed down so it's a good fit onto the neck. We need to get some dots installed and also need to get it radiused. There's a fair bit of work to do on this, but hopefully it shouldn't take us too long. Now, this neck is quite straight. There isn't a huge amount of taper on it. And I've taken some measurements, and basically this fretboard needs to be 38mm at the body end and 35mm at the nut. Now, of course, there's a load of spare material on here. So we just need to kind of work out where it is that it needs to be, that 38mm. And I believe I measured that where this line is. A lot of this work was done quite a long time ago and I've kind of forgotten to a certain extent. So what I need to do is I need to line that up so that the nut is where it needs to be. I'm going to mark there and square a line across. And that is where we need to be 38mm. We'll just step that out with a pair of dividers. And I'll do the same at the nut end. That needs to be slightly narrower. And then I've just put this bit of masking tape on and I'll mark that which side I want to cut. I use that because it just shows up much better than the pencil would on this. So I'll get this trimmed down, I can get the masking tape off, get another bit on the other side, get that trimmed off as well. And that's our taper pretty much sorted out. Okay, so that's it trimmed down to size and shape, apart from the body end, which we will need to do, but I'm not quite sure how long I want to leave this yet. So the next thing I want to do is establish where I'm going to be putting dot markers on the neck. Now, tenor ukes are a little bit unusual in terms of where the position markers go. I have absolutely no clue why they do it this way, and I'm not sure that it makes a huge amount of difference, but they actually go at the 5th, 7th, 10th and 12th frets. So all I'm going to do for the time being is I'm going to put a little mark on where it is that they're going, like that. I've already got my centre line established, so all I'm going to do is just draw the diagonal on both sides, and where those two lines intersect with the centre line is where we need to drill for our little dot marker to go. Okay, so there's the dots installed. They're still a little bit proud, but they're not too bad. So with that done, I think we're pretty much at the stage where we can get this radiused. Now, normally I'd start the radiusing process with a hand plane and take off the bulk of the material and then just put the rest of the radius in with a sanding block. But this thing's tiny. There's not that much material to remove. So I think what I'm going to do is somewhere, I have a 12-inch radiusing block with some, I think this is 60 grit paper on. So that's quite rough. That will get through the material very quickly. So I'm just going to take it down with this and then we can get it cleaned up and polished up with some finer abrasives as we go along. But to make my job a little bit easier, I've actually made myself a little jig that we can sit this in, and then my block will just run down there, which will keep things nice and centered, nice and even, and hopefully do us a nice job of it. Okay, so that's all the radiusing done and the fret slots are cut back to depth again. So all that really leaves is to get this positioned and glued up onto this fretboard. And to do that, I'm going to use my usual trick of pinning it through a couple of the fret slots to get an absolute position that we know we can rely on, and then just break out some tie bond, I suppose. So I think to do that, I'll get this into the vise. Okay, so that's glued on, seems to have gone okay. So I'm just going to leave that now for an hour or so, let that harden up, and we'll see how we've done. Okay, so there's a fretboard glued on. It needs a little bit of cleaning up just to get it down to the width of the neck and everything, but so far so good with that. I think it's looking very nice. Now I'm not sure what I want to do next up, whether I continue with the neck and get this fretted or get the neck shaped, or whether I put the body wings on and start that end of things. However, whatever that's going to be, that will be for the next episode. So I'm going to leave this one here. So as always, like if you've liked, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.